So I think when it comes to superhero movie fans, it's always been in the back of our minds, are we ever going to get a DC vs Marvel movie? This is something that would be absolutely insane to have this kind of crossover, and I couldn't even imagine trying to figure out the rights of how this movie would even work. Like, you have all the DC characters, all the Marvel characters. I mean, who would fund the movie? How much time would each character get? I mean, how would the revenue be split between the two companies of DC and Marvel? I mean, the rights alone to try and figure out how this movie would even be made would just be a nightmare. Okay, anyway. So, at Comic-Con, a Hollywood insider told me there are active discussions happening about DC vs Marvel movie. And both James Gunn and the Russo brothers are on board. Yeah, I mean, obviously, James Gunn's got that massive connection to Marvel, having worked there. He's got a great relationship with the Russos and with Kevin Feige. So that working relationship that James Gunn's had over at Marvel, now he's the CEO of DC Studios. So, I mean, all of that kind of works out in the background. I mean, having that good relationship with Marvel and DC. So, I can understand from that point of view how it could work. So, the source pointed out that the recent Deadpool-Batman comic crossover announcement as a sign of the intercompany collaboration is closer than anyone thinks. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we've had comics in the past, and like it says here, we still have crossover comics between Marvel and DC. So, I mean, if they can work it out with the comics, I guess they could do something with the movies, although I guess it's slightly different making a movie from a comic, but again, you know, the companies are obviously still working in collaboration with each other, so that has a lot going for it. So recently at Comic-Con, DC and Marvel unveiled a variant cover that shows Deadpool with the Infinity Gauntlet featuring both DC and Marvel characters. So also, here are some additional things that we've been told at Comic-Con. So Warner Brothers adds more Lobo to Supergirl after Jason Momoa wows executives. So yeah, they upped the amount of screen time that Jason Momoa's Lobo is going to be getting in Supergirl because they were so impressed with his performance as the character, so that's great to hear. Warner Brothers Insider says DCU Lantern series is really good. I mean, Warner Brothers says their own series is good. I mean, that's not really an announcement, really. No Robert Pattinson in DCU. Concerns raised about Gunn's Batman. So yeah, again, James Gunn's reiterated that Robert Pattinson's Batman is not going to be the Batman in the DCU continuity going forward. Marvel executives say Disney ruined the MCU. What really happens in the Fantastic Four post-credit scene? Superman and Fantastic Four budget soar past $350 million, break-even sky high. Zaslav's master plan unfolds, Warner Brothers Discovery splits in two. Yeah, so there's been a confirmation that they're now splitting the company in two, which is kind of a crazy thing, which we will cover in the coming days, by the way. Okay, and Tricia Helfer stuns at Comic-Con for dinosaur war thriller Primitive War. And I've talked about Primitive War on the channel, do go and check out that video. Vietnam soldiers taking on dinosaurs during the Vietnam War, pretty crazy stuff. But anyway, back to the story here. So we have this comic book cover here, which is really something. This is pretty awesome. I'd love to get my hands on this, actually. We've got Deadpool wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. We've got Batman, Joker, Daredevil, Green Arrow, Rocket Raccoon, and some other various characters as well. We've got Land Shark down there. We've got Crypto, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman. So yeah, like I already said, DC and Marvel, they're still working in collaboration when it comes to comics. So you know, that does give some active encouragement, I have to say. Okay, so if you do want to pick this up, by the way, guys, it's Marvel DC Deadpool Batman #1. So you can pick that up, just Google it. I'm sure you can find where you can buy it if you want to get a hold of it. So, what has James Gunn said about DC vs Marvel? So, James Gunn has also publicly hinted at the idea before. In a recent Rolling Stone interview, the outlet pointed out a copy of Superman Spider-Man crossover comic book for the 70s is sitting at the table. And Gunn said the following: "We've talked about it a billion times. That could easily happen, but simultaneous to that, I think it would be interesting, but I also think people are a little over it. I think people want to see good stories with their superheroes, and that's what matters. Absolutely it does. And they want to see different types of stories with their superheroes, and people love superheroes, that's obvious. But they need more variety, and they just need more quality storytelling. And just having Spider-Man and Superman team up isn't going to do it if it's shit. So it's got to come from a real place, and it's really hard to make that work. Yeah, he's not wrong whatsoever. I mean, that's the most important thing. James Gunn has talked about this so many times now, that when it comes to the DC universe that he's building, he's not going to greenlight any movies until he has a solid script that he's happy with. That's the most important thing. The story, the characters, the script has to be solid. Because you can throw all these different awesome characters together in a blender and put them into a movie, but if it's just visual noise and it doesn't mean anything, then ultimately, yeah, it's fun to see. It would be fun to see Superman and Spider-Man teaming up in a movie. But if the story's bad, if the action's is not good, if they don't have interesting story arcs and the script just lacks, then the whole thing's going to fall apart before it's even begun. So it's absolutely true what he's saying here. Make sure the script is solid before anything else. So I did Superman because I loved the character and I was excited about writing that movie. If I were to write Superman versus Spider-Man movie, it's a concept where I'm going to be like, oh yeah, this could be a great film, or am I doing it because, oh yeah, people want to see Superman and Spider-Man team up? For me, it would have to be, if we ever did that, it would have to be under someone who thought it was going to be awesome and wasn't just a cash grab, because I'm just not into that. So back in 2023, Gunn also told Empire, I'm certain that it's more likely now that I'm in charge at DC. He tells Empire, in the new Guardians Volume 3 issue, who knows? Just don't expect anything on that front in the immediate future. That's many years away though, he says. I think we have to establish what we're doing at DC first. I would be lying to say that we haven't, let me say that again. I would be lying to say that we haven't discussed it. So they have discussed Marvel and DC coming together for a movie. But all discussions have been very, very light and fun. So yeah, I mean, obviously, when it comes to ideas, this would be something that would be floated around. Either at Marvel or DC, they would have called each other up. I can imagine James Gunn on the phone to Kevin Feige, and they just kind of having a bit of banter back and forth about what's going on with their respective companies. And they say, oh, wouldn't it be fun if we did a Marvel DC crossover? But obviously, like it says here, they had light conversations. They probably weren't being all too serious about it, but in the back of their minds, they're probably thinking, you know what, this is something that could actually happen in the future, but way into the future. The MCU is rumored to be getting rebooted after Secret Wars, and obviously James Gunn's only just started this brand new DCU, so at their respective companies, they have a lot going on before they could even consider doing this kind of crossover. So, if DC vs Marvel movie ever does happen, we can guess it's years away, possibly 2030 or later. Yeah, probably even later than that, like 2035. It's going to be a long, long time before we do that. Like I say, even after Secret Wars, if the MCU gets a soft reboot, they've got to re-establish that universe with a whole new set of characters before they could even think about doing a crossover. James Gunn is currently starting to develop his DCU. Likewise, the Russos are filming both Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, which they have said is the start of a new beginning for the MCU. Yeah, like I just said, after Secret Wars, there's big rumors that it could be a potential reboot for the MCU. Whether it's going to be a soft reboot, keeping some of the same characters, or just like a hard reboot where they're just going to recast everybody, we really don't know at this point, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so there have been active discussions about it. James Gunn's alluded to it in interviews. The two companies are still working, doing crossovers when it comes to their comics. So the idea is there, but it's unfortunately it's not going to be if it does happen, it's not going to be happening for a long time yet. But guys, I throw it off to you the question: if DC and Marvel were to do a crossover movie, which two characters would you want to see come together in a Marvel DC movie? Like this image has here, we have Deadpool and we have Robert Pattinson's Batman. That would be a very interesting movie. Those two characters tonally are just so different from each other. But I mean, you could have Captain America and Hulk. You could have Superman and Spider-Man. You could have, I don't know, the Punisher and the Green Arrow. There's so many different characters that you could do that could come together for a crazy one-off crossover. So I throw it off to you, and I would love to know what you guys would put together there. But guys, there we go. So what do you think about this? Do you think this is actually a possibility that this could happen in the future? Or do you think it's pie in the sky thinking, and that this, because of the crazy rights behind the scenes, it will never actually happen? Whatever you think, guys, jump into the comment section, leave your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions as always. Would love to hear what you guys have to say. As always, thanks so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. Consider becoming a subscriber to help support the content. I would much appreciate that. and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with more Marvel, DC, and movie news that we have going on the channel. And with that, Dan, as always, I will see you guys in the next video.